What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. So before I get into the things, well, first of all, let me share this out. Let me share this out. Because y'all know how my notifications do sometimes. Sometimes they love me, sometimes they don't. So let me go and send this out. I find that weekends are bad. Like the notifications really don't go out on the weekends, I find. And all right, we're live. So happy Saturday, everybody. Let me do my roll call. Let me do my what's up, Tracy Chappelle. Hey, O Street. Oh, this is gonna be good. I'll be in the clouds, but I'm all in. Okay, boo. Abby says she just got finished, and baby, yes, baby. If you want the link, Abby, let me know. You can come on up, girl. Good evening, really be. Hey, Xavier. Hey, boo. What's up, Below? Hey, Amir. Hey, what's up, Star? Hey, Lauren. What's up, Sylvia? How you guys doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? Um, oh my goodness. Yes, I just got the braids rebraided, honey. I just got the hair rebraided. Yes, yes. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody who sent me a little something something last week for teacher appreciation. It was appreciated. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know I don't be giving out government names and all that good stuff, but you know who you are, and I know who you are, and thank you so much. Second of all, I want to say happy Mother's Day to the mothers. I may or may not get over here to go live tomorrow. So while I have y'all here, I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers. And this is for Mother's Day. Fathers, you have a whole holiday. So please, please, and please again, please don't be trying to get credit for mothers on Mother's Day. This is just as I will not give mothers credit on Father's Day, okay? Mamas who doing it alone and you a single parent, that's cool. It's still your day, okay? Fathers, if you're doing it on your own, you got a day. It's next month. Chill out. It's coming, okay? So happy Mother's Day to everybody. All right. Now, Lord, can't get my glasses on. Thank you, Xavier. Now you have to watch Finding Anna. It's a lot of. I also heard Bad Vegan is a good one, so I gotta add that. Hold on, let me add that to my list right now before I forget. Because I've been trying to get to the Tinder Swindler for a minute. Okay, I've been trying to get to the Tinder Swindler for a minute. It's been a minute. Um, Hold on. Finding Anna. Okay. So y'all, listen. Let's get into this. So I knew what the Tinder Swindler was about. Okay, I already knew what it was walking in the door. For those who don't know what the Tinder Swindler is about, it is about a swindler. Okay, it is about a swindler. Okay, who was out here defrauding these women. Now, I'm going to try my best to not come off as if I am shaming victims. Okay? Regardless of how we might feel, if we would do what these women did, blah, 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 blah. Baby, this man, they said that this man then defrauded women. Well, not just women. We found out that it wasn't just women, but the majority of them were women. Over $10 million. And I feel like it's more than that. I just feel like that's a very safe estimate. Because again, it's a lot of people that are probably still too embarrassed to say, listen, me too. Okay. Hey Jessica, how you doing? It was the ending for me, but we'll get there. Child, we will. So let's start from the beginning and work our way back. So Savage Beauty 2, it's a South African scripted drama. It's like Revenge Me. Okay, Xavier, you trying to get me on the whole TV show. I can't get into a whole TV show right now. There's a documentary. There's a 1-episode documentary. You trying to get me down. Xavier, I got a lot on my plate, baby. Hold it. Hold that one. I'll come back around to it. Okay. I love you, Xavier. I love you. The vegan woman show on Netflix is similar. Can't remember. Bad Vegan. Is that the one? STK. So You won't be shaming because all those heifer stories left me with questions. Well, I don't really have no questions. Well, we'll get there. So we start this episode off. I'm gonna just call them victim number 1, victim number 2, and victim number 3 because I don't have time to be remembering everybody's name. Y'all know, y'all. I think the first woman name was Celia. The second woman name is C. I already messed it up. Victim number 1. Okay, so we start off with victim number 1, and she is telling us about. Listen, I got a question for her because her ass says she's been on Tinder for 7 years. Clearly, it's not working for you, ma'am. Tinder is a dating app that allegedly, hopefully, you're going to find some people to date. If the best thing you found on Tinder was this man who stole all your money, you probably need to find somewhere else to meet men. I'm just going to say that. Hey, Queen Diva. Hey, love. I'm just going to say that. If the best thing you found on Tinder in 7 years is this man, Tinder probably is not the app for you to be on. But I digress. Yeah, victim number 3 was my favorite too. We'll get to her. But I digress. Okay. Yeah, it's clearly not working, Effie. It's clearly not working. So no, Tinder is not for hookups. Tinder, I mean, I know people who've gotten married off of Tinder. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in my family met their wife on Tinder. They I mean, knock on wood, so far so good, you know. No, Tinder is not for the hookups. Okay. So, I mean, I'm not saying people don't hook up, but so okay, we start off with victim number 1. And I feel like victim number 1 was already on defense because she was already explaining why she did some of the things that she did on the front end. So she says she meets people on the Tinder, and the first thing she does is she Googles them. So she met this guy, Simon Leviev comes through, and she Googles him, right? And the first thing that comes up is that he's a billionaire's son. Listen, I'm going to say this to y'all, and you can judge your mama, okay? I'm going to say this to y'all. If I find somebody, if I'm on a dating app, and the person is interested in me, and I'm interested in them, and I Google them and they are a billionaire's son, listen, it is an added bonus. And I would be telling y'all a lie if I said that I wouldn't be intrigued and wouldn't be thinking, I'd be lying. That's like an added bonus. Okay. That's like an added bonus. You meet a man and you think he's attractive and he thinks you're attractive. Then you find out he a billionaire. Bitch. Look. I ain't gonna sit here and pretend like I wouldn't be thinking of all the things that them billions of dollars could do for me. I just would be telling y'all a lie right now. So she did the same thing, right? She Googles the man, he's a billionaire, right? So he tells her, listen, I think at the time she was in London. So he was like, hey, I'm in London. Why don't you meet me for lunch? So he sends her his location. He's staying at the Four Seasons. Well, again, Four Seasons, boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Why would you automatically think it was a trap? So, billionaires be on Tinder. So, she rolls on over to the Four Seasons and they have lunch. Here's the first thing that I would not have done. Now, some of the stuff that they did, I could be like, I could see that happening. Other things that they did, I'd be like, hell no. The first thing she did was, he was like, well, I'm getting ready to fly out to, I don't know where they was going, child. Bucharest, shit, I don't know. Bulgaria. I start with a B, I don't know. And I think it was Bulgaria. He was like, and you know, why don't you come with me? We can fly on my private jet. So the first thing she said was, well, I've never been on a private jet before. I thought it'd be fun. Girl, you just met this man. I don't care if he's a billionaire's son, uncle, cousin. I don't care if he's a damn billionaire. You literally just met this man. He said that he was visiting his daughter and all of them are flying to Bulgaria, child. Abby said that's the start of every single hologram romance that she should have known then. Yeah, I guess. But let me tell you this, me Googling him and finding out he's a billionaire wouldn't have been that wouldn't have been a red flag for me, honestly. What would have been a red flag for me was him saying on the first date, we literally just had lunch and your attitude, because I'd be thinking, you don't know me just like I don't know you. So she drops a message in the group chat with with her friends, and of course her friends are saying all the things that we would say. Girl, what are you doing? Girl, that's dangerous. Girl, you don't know him. Girl, send us a picture. Like, her friends were saying the shit that my friends would have said, right? She gonna respond talking about some YOLO. Yeah, you only live once, all right. Okay, YOLO. Okay, YOLO. So she flies to Bulgaria with the man. And of course, she's all happy because she's on the private jet. And his daughter, not only is his daughter on the plane with them, but his daughter's baby mama is on the plane. Now, that becomes important later on. We'll get to that. But just remember that the baby mama was on the plane. And the baby mama was so nice. And she was talking about how great of a guy he was. And da-da-da-da-da, talking him up. Basically validating that this is a great guy. And that he really does have money. I mean, she said quite that crassly, but yeah, you know. They get to Bulgaria, and of course he takes her to this, nice restaurant, and he wines and dines her. So of course she sleeps with him, right? So of course she sleeps with him, and the next day, it's oh shit, we gotta go. I'm gonna fly you back home. Cause I gotta go and do da 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 da. It's a security breach. What's up, mixology? Right, her YOLO was about to be real YOLO because you only live once. You was about to be living short. Okay, so she goes back home, and of course, I will say this: she was honest about the fact that she was like, "Girl, I didn't know what to expect. I had flown out with this man I just met, had sex with him, and then all of a sudden he had to go. So I really was like, I probably ain't gonna really hear from him again. This was all just a one night stand, a really nice one night stand, but it is what it is." But of course, no, he was like, because she sent him a message talking about some, hope you'll miss me. And then of course he responds, I miss you already. So the con begins, right? So he's always flying to a different country. His father, he works for the father. So his father, allegedly, daddy is a billionaire. There is a Leviev diamond company. Now, allegedly, he was the son of the founder owner of this diamond company, and he is like the 75th richest person in the world, right? So that part is legit. The part that's not legit is that it ain't him, right? He is not his son. But when you Google him, it comes up. His face comes up. His picture comes up, right? The Instagram matches who this man is supposed to be when you go to his Instagram, which is verified with a blue check. So Instagram, I'm giving you the side eye because you verified this dude with a blue check, okay? And he's got like hundreds of thousands of followers, and his pictures line up. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be fair. This chick, she Googled him, and everything was right there. Everything lined up with him. His face matched up with this company, which matched up with this family, which matched up with his social media, and he was verified on Instagram. Which, listen, when you're Googling somebody, there's only but so much you could do. But there was nothing out there about this guy. Like, everything, added up. So he's whining and dining her. He's sending her all these beautiful bouquets, and he comes in town, and again, they stay at a, 5-star hotel, and they have this wonderful night of sex, and, things are going really well. I'm mad at all of them by the end of this, child. You can get a fake blue check. How you do that? I didn't know you could have a fake blue check. So that's what her friend said to her about jumping on the plane with a random stranger. She overlooked a lot about the strength of him saying he's a billionaire. Yeah, she did. Because let's be clear, if this man was nobody, and when I say nobody, I don't mean it just because you're rich, you're somebody, but y'all know what I'm saying. If she met some random dude and he was like, hey girl, I gotta go to New York for business, and he was a regular schmegular. Maybe he had a little bit of change, but he wasn't like billionaire status. And he was like, girl, come on, get my Camry with me. And I say that because I drive a Camry, okay? Come on, get my Camry with me, girl, and ride up to New York with me for a day or two. Your ass wouldn't have been so quick to get in that damn Camry and ride on up to the New York. You wouldn't have been there. I think number one is an innocent party. I think all of them are innocent. I just think they made bad decisions based on what they thought they were getting versus what the real is. They just, all of them are innocent, I think. Listen, blue checks be scamming hoes all the time. Still don't excuse the reckless behavior. Let me add myself as one of Dave's kids because we have the same last name. Child. Okay. So, okay, let me go to my notes because I want to make sure, because I know as it was going on, I was right. Child, I got 3 pages of notes, child, because I was like, woo! Okay, let me go here. Okay. So this chick, I already said that part. Okay, verified. Yeah, he had 103,000 followers, lots of pictures. Father, they called him the King of Diamonds. 2-year-old daughter, first day. I'm just going through my notes, making sure I said all I wanted to say, child. Okay, so he surprised her for Valentine's Day in Oslo. She's from Norway. So she was living in London, but she was from Oslo, Norway. So she invited him to come to Norway. And he was like, I can't come, girl. I'm busy because I'm traveling the world, doing everything that I'm doing. But then he surprised her, and it was Valentine's Day. And that sort of sealed the deal. And that's when they became an official couple. They became officially boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Okay, on Valentine's Day. So like almost immediately after that, he said that, now mind you, when she flew with him the first time, he had a whole team with him. He had security. Like I said, his baby mama was there. The baby was there. Like it was a whole situation. He had secretaries. He had a whole situation with him, right? Which again, in my mind, if it were me, it would have added to the legitimacy, right? Because you got a whole team of people here. And that doesn't mean that they're not all lying for you, because clearly they were. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, he got security, he got her, he got him, he got her. You know, okay, he got a lot going on here. Okay, cool. Almost immediately after they became an official couple. No, I'm going to tell a lie. I'm telling a lie. No, hold on, y'all. Let me get my, because they started overlapping. Hold on, give me a quick second. Ooh, give me a quick second. Boop, put a pin in it. Give me a second. Oh. She said she started noticing that he had new pictures on Tinder, which made her feel some kind of way, because she was like, well, wait a minute. If you my man, if we boyfriend and girlfriend and we together, why you updating your Tinder? And of course he was like, I haven't been on Tinder, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so you let him talk you out of what you clearly saw. Why would he update his pictures on Tinder if he hadn't been on Tinder? Tinder don't automatically update. But okay. I don't think all of them are innocent. One in particular don't sit right with me. Okay. So he tells her that he's got a security issue. And that they have to be whisked away. That he has to shut down his social media. He deleted his Instagram. He tells her that she needs to private her account. Because he's been getting death threats, and he shows her, you know, these letters, these threatening letters. Because again, he's traveling, so all of this is through pictures and stuff. He's showing her these pictures and pictures of bullets and all that stuff. Maybe his assistant updated his Tinder, child. I'm sure that's probably the lie he told her, that somebody else did it for him, whatever, child. So, okay. So I'm gonna put a pin in that because they overlapped victim number 2 and victim number 3. So victim number 2, they met on Tinder as well, but they, according to her, they weren't romantic. They just became friends. And I believe that they were never boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm not gonna say I don't believe they never had sex. I'm gonna say I believe they were never boyfriend and girlfriend, because while he told victim number 1 that he had to go underground because they were getting all these death threats and he had to delete his social media, and she had to private her account, and he had to kind of go away for a while, and he would call her when she could. He hooking up with victim number one. He flew out to, she was from Sweden. He flew to Sweden with her to visit her, and they was partying at the club. And then the next thing you know, he's inviting her to come to Greece with his new girlfriend. So he's got a new girlfriend. Her name is Paulina. I do remember her name. And the only reason why I say, because so he's with Paulina. He invites victim number two to come to Greece, and they spend the whole summer together partying it up. They going to Greece, and they going to France, and they going to Rome, and they driving around in Phantoms and Maybachs, and they staying at 5-star hotels, and they shutting down the clubs, and they going to the billionaires club. He is spending money hand over fist, right? Now, I'm going to be honest. I got the impression that this woman was rich because of the way she said she was hanging out with him and his friends. I got the impression that she was sort of well off. Now, I'm going to say she was probably comfortable, but she wasn't rich. But she was comfortable because she had $30,000 in the bank, and she was going to buy herself a new, they call them apartments in Europe, but I feel like that's what their apartments are, what we call condos, because she said she was going to buy herself a new apartment. Over here, you can't buy an apartment, but I feel like they're what we would call a condo here. Anyway, which I guess technically a condo is an apartment you buy, but y'all know what I'm saying. So that's what he was doing with victim number two. Now, while he was doing that with victim number two, let's go back over here to victim number one. He told her, well, listen, let's move in together. Our budget is $15,000 a month. That's what I can afford to pay, you know. So look for apartments. Don't go over $15,000 a month. So she's like showing him apartments, and they're going on tours of different apartments. And I mean, she got him on FaceTime while they're looking at different apartments and stuff like that. And she had actually put an offer on one. And then here's where the con starts. He tells her that he has to shut down all of his money. He can't use any of his credit cards or anything. And so he needs her to open up a credit card in her name. So she opens up an American Express card in his name. And see, here's how the con man gets you. He started charging up the credit card, but he paid it a couple of times to get the confidence. So she was a little apprehensive, but he paid it the first couple of times, you know, $200,000 here, $100,000 there, which gave her a little confidence, like, okay, well, he gonna take, okay, woo. I wasn't worried. I was a little nervous about getting him this credit card, but woo, okay. Here's where she put herself in a bad situation, which a lot of the women did. Because they got the credit cards in their name, and they gave him permission to use it, which of course she didn't go through the proper channels. You know, we do it all the time. We give our credit card to somebody. We give our debit card to somebody. We don't go through the proper channels of just adding somebody to our account and making them an authorized user, because then there's a record of a second person, right? So she never added him to the account. She just gave him the card. She never even used that card. She never used this American Express card. So then he kept maxing the card out, and he kept calling her, increase the limit, and get them to increase the limit, get to the increase the limit. So finally, I guess she got to the point where she couldn't get the limit. No, before that happened, he told her he needed cash. He was like, I need $25,000. And she was like, I don't have no $25,000. He was like, go get a quick loan. Now, when somebody already got the answer, well, here, go do this, that again should have been a red flag. Like, wait a minute, that came out, that was too easy. Like, if you're a billionaire, how you know about quick loans? If this is something that's never happened to you before, and this is something that's just, oh my goodness, this is so weird, this is so, how you just coming out your mouth with it, oh, get a quick loan? So, yeah, Tracy, that's a good point. I think they had sex, but he realized victim number two knew too many people in the real diamond world, right? Because she had dated somebody in the diamond world before. So that's a good point. Maybe he pulled up because he knew she might know too many people. Maybe that's what he did. That's a good point. That's a good point. So She gets the $25,000 loan, cashes it out for cash, flies to meet him in, I want to say it was Switzerland. I want to say it was Sweden. I want to say it was Sweden, but at this point, child, they just all over Europe. And she literally takes this man the $25,000 cash. So then, that's the part I'm going to get to now, Tracy. So then, he keeps maxing out the Amex. And he's calling her, you need to call them. Because, they kept declining the card because he was in different countries every other day. So, of course, Amex is like, this is fraud. Nah, we're gonna shut this down. You all over the place. Nah, this is fraud. This is fraud. So she had to keep calling Amex, pretending like she was him, and getting them to unblock the card. Then it was, I need you to get the limit increase. So finally, she was like, listen, I'm at my max. Like, they're not going to keep giving me more money. And he was like, okay, fine. And I'm going to just put you on payroll. Here's problem number 2. I'm sorry. I done lost count of how many problems this is. He puts her on payroll and actually gives her a pay stub where he calls and this is why I don't understand why the company was never, maybe they investigated and he did some falsification. I don't know. But he gave her the actual phone number to the diamond company that he's fraudulently claiming he's the COO of. And she talked to somebody on the phone, but it's the phone number that's on the website. It's not like it's a made up number. She talked to somebody on the phone off the number on the website, and they added her to the payroll. She's getting pay stubs now. So when Amex called to verify her employment, they verified her employment as making like $100,000. Well, I think it was $97,000 a year. So they increased her limit. But here's what I don't understand too. Because first of all, we would have never got to that point because I wouldn't have been doing all that shit to begin with. But let's just say for some crazy reason I did. That's the part that I don't understand. If you're going to put me on payroll for a fake job, making a fake, baby, I need the money to go with this pay stub. If you're going to be fake paying me $97,000, then I need money in my account every 2 weeks. I'm just saying, you got my social security information and all of that, my password information. She gave him, whoever this person was on the phone, she gave them her password information and everything to give her this fake pay stub, but you wasn't getting real money. I wish I would. I wish I would allow you to fake put me on somebody's payroll. You better be real paying me. When the Amex blocked, it was that red flag. Yes. I know she kicks herself. She does. We're going to get to that, but she does. Hell, I'm broke, and I have a website. I can cut business checks. It doesn't mean they will cash. Well, they found that out too because he ended up giving all these people checks that didn't work. So we'll get to that too. This dude must have had an inside man. And he had to. He had to have somebody at the company. He had to, which the company was never charged. So they must have done an investigation and realized that he just must have had one person inside and it wasn't the whole company that was a part of it. I don't know. So victim number 2, she starts. So by this time, I said the same thing, little baby. I was like, what are these people doing that they're getting all this credit? So by this time, victim number 1, child, she said she got like 9 creditors after her because now he's not giving her any money. She's calling and calling and calling. He's not giving her any money. She's got loans. She's got the Amex card. She'd opened up other credit cards. And he tells her, fine, come meet me in, again, I don't know where they flying to, child, but meet me here and I'll give you the money. Just meet me here. I'll give you the money. So she said she got there and he gave her a check for $500,000, which of course was more than what, hey, what's up, Eshar? which was more than what he actually owed her at that time. But she was like, he was like, for all your trouble, blah, blah, blah. She said, but he was real cold. She said it was different. It wasn't like it was before. He was very cold towards her. And she said it was not a good night. It just wasn't a happy place, right? So she said as soon as she got home, baby, she went to the bank to cash that check. And the check never hit her account. It never hit her account. She's calling every day. She's checking her account. The money is never hitting her account. She finally calls the bank, and the bank is like, yeah, we're not cashing this check. So she calls him, and of course, he gives her a song and dance. He was like, I don't know. We did what we were supposed to do on our end. I don't know why the bank is not going to cash it because we paid it. The money, basically, he was like, the money gone out of our account, so I don't know why it didn't hit your account. So, of course, that works for a couple of days. But then after a while, now he's getting nastier and nastier with her on the phone every time she's calling him because he's running out of excuses, right? So he's getting nastier and nastier. So finally, she calls Amex. And she talks to their fraud department because she said, I know that I don't know what I can or can't do because his name wasn't on anything. Everything was my name. And every time that I called to increase the limit, it was me. Like so she didn't know what she could or could not do with Amex. So Amex actually sent an investigator to her home. So I don't know what she done told Amex on the phone, baby, that they done sent somebody to her house. So they're taking down her report. They're going through all the fraud and everything. And they were like, do you have a picture of him? So she shows him a picture of him. And she said they just looked at each other and was like, yep, that's him. And she was like, well, what you mean? Yep, that's him. What the hell? So she realizes then, damn, what I thought, so she said as soon as the Amex people left, she called her mom, and her mom still lives her mom lives in Norway. She called her mom. Her mama was like, listen, come home. Like, we'll work, we'll figure something out. You need to come home. No, basically, I need to put my hands on my baby. You bring your ass home. So she said she blocks him from her phone. She goes home. But once she gets home, she realizes that he has her mama's phone number. He knows where her mama lives. He has all of her passport information. Like, he knows how to find her if he needs to find her. She don't know how to fucking find him. So he called her mother's house and left a voicemail basically threatening her, telling her, just be careful. Basically, you be careful what your next move is, because whatever you put out there is going to come back on you. And it was very nasty, the message he left. And the thing is, she kept all of this. So it's his actual voice. You can hear these actual messages. She kept everything because they were communicating through WhatsApp. So she had all of his messages through WhatsApp. She had all the videos he ever sent her, all the voice notes she ever sent. So we're actually hearing him leave these messages and hearing what he's saying and seeing these pictures and all of that. So, child, they just giving up. The story was crazy as hello. I was like, do these women not investigate anything? Me and my husband been together for 30 plus years. It took me a year to trust him. Right. Listen, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, baby. She was getting loans, credit card. And y'all know these loans have high interest rates. So, I mean, she's just digging herself in debt. So, I may be going out of order, but I want to make sure I'm including everything. At this point, it starts getting a little muddy as far as the order of things, but I want to make sure I'm including everything. So, the other thing that happened, and I think I already passed this, but he claimed he sent her a video of him in an ambulance with his bodyguard bloodied up with stitches. He said that they were attacked, but they were attacked on their way to come and find her. This is before she found out he was a fraud. This was one of the other things that he told her to get her on the hook to explain why he can't use his own credit cards and why he had to go underground. I'm just trying to remember everything. And the reason why that's important is because he used that same video and that same story on all his victims. He showed the same pictures and the same video of him in that damn ambulance with his bodyguard, who, by the way, has never been charged either. So, victim number one, realizing This is a real story, Diva. You can Google him right now and it'll come up. This is a real story. So, and hey boo, hey Diva. So victim number one realizes basically there's really nothing. Like she said, she called the police, but it wasn't really, the police weren't really all that enthusiastic about, it was like, all right, we'll take your report. But they said one of the reasons why the police weren't really in such a rush is because he crossed so many borders and he traveled through so many countries that a lot of them didn't have the money to follow him all around Europe. You know what I mean? Like Norway, London, Bulgaria, ain't nobody sending police all over all over Europe looking for him. Who one woman who, to her, it's a lot of money and her life is ruined. But to them, it's like, sorry, sorry it happened to you. So she went to the newspaper. She said she went to the biggest newspaper in Norway to tell them her story. And once she sent them over her documentation, they said she sent over like 40 pages of text messages, emails. She sent over all of the voicemails. She sent so she had documentation to prove the relationship, and she had documentation to prove the fraud, I guess, for lack of a better word. But they were like, there's got to be more victims out there. Like she can't be the first one. Like this was too slick. The way this was done, he can't be the only one. And of course they did the same thing she just did. They Googled him, and from the surface, it looked like it checked out. So let me put a pin in that. Let me go back to victim number 2 for a second. So y'all remind me where I left off with victim number 1. I left off with her going to the newspaper, okay? So let's go back to victim number 2. So now victim number 1, that well has run out. So now he goes to victim number 2. Now remember, victim number 2 was riding around all over Europe, 5-star private jets, Maybachs, Phantoms, they Rolls Royces, eating good, going to the billionaires club and living good, living it up. Oh yeah, right. And he hits her up and he says, listen, he sends her that same video of him in the ambulance with Peter saying we were just attacked. I gotta go underground. I really need your help. Can you please loan me $30,000? How you fix your mouth to ask somebody for $30,000? I'm just saying. So she was like, well, I didn't quite have $30,000, but I did have money in the bank because I was saving up to buy a new apartment. Again, I told y'all they're like the condos, right? She was living with her parents at the time, her mom at the time. So she loaned him the money she had in the bank, which was a significant amount of money, but it wasn't $30,000. And he basically did the same thing to her. Get loans. Can you do this? Can you give me a credit card? Can you use your credit card? Yada, 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 boo, boo, boo. Same story, different, same song. She's running up her credit, helping her friend out. Now, remember, they were never in a romantic relationship. I ain't going to say I don't believe they never had sex, but they were not in a romantic relationship. They were just friends. And so she was helping her friend out, and giving the man all the money. And of course he started doing robbing Peter to pay Paul. Part of, he's doing the same thing. I'm gonna pay you next week. And again, he sent her $200,000, or he sent her some money the first time. So she was like, okay, cool, he good for it. No, that's a lie. I'm telling a lie. He asked for more money and he had never paid her back. And she was like, you're asking me for more money and you never paid back the first loan. And he was like, I'm so sorry, but I'm good for it. And again, she's got these voice messages. So we're listening to this man. I know, I apologize, but the money is coming. I'm finishing up this deal. As soon as I finish this deal. Now, again, I just have to say, y'all, at what point do you stop believing this man's a billionaire? Like, so he says, listen, so he meets up with her. He flies to Switzerland or Sweden, wherever she lives, child. Sweden. He meets up with her and he actually gives her a check for $100,000. And she was like, wow, that was way more than what he owed me. And I was like, cool. And he said, I just want to, again, I just want to thank you for what you did for me. Boom, boom, boom. Again, the money never hits her account. No, he sent her a picture of a transfer. That's what it was. He showed her where he was transferring $100,000 into her account. That's what it was. Of course, never. The money never hits her account. Money never hits her account. So of course now she's starting to feel like, oh my gosh, what in the world? I'm broke. Like I don't have, she's maxed out. So let's go back to victim number one. Once he asked the loan for a loan would have been a red flag. Child, okay. So go back to the victim number one. So the press, they believe her story because again, they're like, oh my goodness. So, but they're trying to figure out how to find out. So they ask her. So they found. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to remember. Let me look at my notes, y'all. Let me look at my notes. See, I'm trying to go by memory. Hold on. I told you I got 3 pages of notes. I don't know why I ain't using them. Okay. Security call, break, employ her, have keep calling. Okay. Grease. Okay. Okay. So victim number one, she actually, I did skip a very important part. She actually became suicidal. So she checked herself into a mental hospital because she literally was going to take care of herself. So while she was in the mental hospital is when she decided to reach out to the newspaper. I'm trying to remember how. I'm trying to remember. I didn't write that part down. Child, you said victim number one had you rewinded? Child, all of them had me rewinded. So, yeah, I remember. I don't remember how the newspaper, but they followed the breadcrumbs. Damn, I'm trying to remember how they did it. They had his name. Somehow, they were able to figure out that his name wasn't really his name, and they were able to find his real name, which was, instead of Simon Leviev, he was Shannon Uke. I think it's his given name, which is he's from Israel. I say Israeli. He's from Israel. I think that's what it was. They found out. I think they found him through his baby mama. But here's the crazy part. All right, forget it. Here's the crazy part. They were able to find his real name, but they had to, and the person who he really was had already been to jail for fraud. He was in jail for 3 years for fraud. And he had told victim number one that he went to jail, but of course he made up some story about why he went to jail, child. Some diamond mines and some shit. Anyway, he said he was in jail in South Africa, child. So they found his address in Israel, and it was actually his mama's address, and he had mail there. And his mama told him, she was like, listen, I don't know him. I don't have any contact with him. I don't have nothing to do with him. He done changed his name. He don't live here no more. And they were like, well, his mail is still coming here, because the day they showed up, there was actually mail on the door from a process server, people looking for money from him. And she was like, yeah, his mail still come here, but he don't come here, and it's not even his name anymore. And they were like, well, what's his new name? And she was like, Simon Leviev. So they were like, okay, we know that this person is the same person. So he was convicted of defrauding 3 women. So they pulled up the names of those 3 women. Y'all, so they asked victim number one, do any of these women look familiar? Y'all, why was one of the victims his baby mama that was on the plane with victim number one at the beginning talking about something? He a good guy, he's a great dad, and yes, he is rich. So now we confused, because it's like, wait a minute, how are you a victim and now you his baby mama? Because she put him in jail before she had a child by him. She stood up in court and testified against him. And when he got out of jail, must have hooked back up with a dude. And now she's helping him fraud other people. I said, y'all, I can't make this shit up. Oh, Lord. But the problem is he had only went to jail for when he got out of jail, he started doing it all over again. He just figured out a way to do it better, which unfortunately is the truth. That's what happens with a lot of crooks. Unfortunately, they just figure out how to be better crooks, you know? So okay. So the newspaper at this point figured that they had enough information to print this article. So they printed the article, and it was an online medium. So it was really a video. You could click the video and watch the story, sort of like a mini documentary. It was like part 1, part 2, part 3 kind of thing. Oh no, damn! I'm sorry, y'all. The guy in the article went through his social media and found her name and reached out to victim number 2. That's what happened. So he reached out to victim number 2 on Facebook, and he sent her a message on Facebook saying, "Hey, this is who I am. I see you know a guy named Simon Leviev. He's a crook. We're investigating him. He stole money from this woman, blah, 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 blah. Does any of this sound familiar to you?" So by this time, he had already, took all her money and gave her the fake bank transfer that never showed up in her account. So she called him and was like, "Yo, what's this about? Like, I just heard from this reporter, and the reporter is saying X, Y, and Z." And so, of course, he was like, "It's not true. Those are my enemies. They're getting people to lie on me. I didn't do anything. Da, 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 yada, yada, yada." Exactly, Xavier. The victim becomes the violator. So, she calls him. So, of course, he tells her the whole song, dance, blah, blah, blah. And she said, but even the whole time he's lying to her, she's like, "I know he's telling me the truth. Like, I know it's true. Like, I know that with this guy, the reporter that called me, because when she got off the phone with him, the reporter actually called. So she agreed to, okay. Simon had told her, "Listen, I will let you, I'm going to give you some watches out of my watch collection. My watches are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That should be more than enough to pay you back. I'll meet you wherever you want to meet me in the world, so I can give you the watch so you could go pawn it and get your money." Again, I'm saying to myself, if you can fly to meet me anywhere in the world, how about instead of flying, you just give me the money? Like, I'm not understanding these crazy. I know a plane ticket don't equal the money he owed her, but still, it's like, what the hell? So when she talked to the reporter, they were like, "Well, we just don't know how to find him because he moves like every 2 to 3 days. He's in a different country." She said, "Well, I know where he's going to be because I literally have a plane ticket here to meet him. We're supposed to be meeting in Prague. I think they were meeting in." So they set up this whole big sting where they were going to confront him. But, she met him. He gave her the watch, which, of course, turned out to be fake, child. She went to the pawn shop the next day, and the watch was fake. What the hell made her think the watch was real? I don't know, but okay. Which is really messed up because I'm sure he had real watches that he could have gave that woman and just gave her a real watch. Because I know he had real, and I'm going to tell you why I know, because of what we found out with victim number 3. So I know he had real jewelry worth real money that he could have gave that woman. And at least he would have took, because she really, I don't know how much she ended up giving him, but at that point, I feel like it was less than $100,000, maybe between $100,000 and $150,000. Hell, he could have paid her. Again, he could have gave her a couple of his watches and been done with it. What's up? What's up, King Retro? What's up? So they fly out or whatever. So she meets up with him. They eat dinner, and she said, "I felt guilty because he ordered everything on the menu." And I'm sitting there thinking, now whose money? Who did he swindle? Who did he steal money from to pay for this? Because at this point, they figured out that basically it's a Ponzi scheme where he's just robbing Peter to pay Paul, and he just keeps getting new victims and, whining and dining the new victim with the old victim's money and yada, yada, yada. So she was like, hell, he paying for lunch with somebody's money. I know it ain't my money. He paying, with somebody. He got a new victim. So when they're leaving out of the restaurant and they're standing there, he sees one of the reporters with a camera. He sees the camera. And of course, he got so many enemies at this point, he don't know who the enemy is. But they get in the car and they start driving off because he don't know who that is looking for him. And she's worried because she's like, oh my God, did they figure out it was me? Did they figure out that I was the one that snitched on him? Oh my goodness, and all of that. But they didn't. Because again, he got so many enemies, he didn't know where it was coming from. So they didn't know it was her. And she ends up getting away from him. But of course, they weren't able to confront him. And they were like, we got to, regroup and come up with a plan B. So she ends up meeting. So victim number 2 and victim number 1 end up meeting up. And they end up, commiserating and sharing their stories. Yada, 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 boo, da, boo, da, boo. The story comes out and it goes viral. And of course, as soon as the story comes out, what happens? Everybody starts blaming them. How could y'all be so stupid? Like all of the comments are really coming after them about being so stupid and, gold diggers and this, and this, and this, and that. And they were like, damn, like, okay, we were stupid, but how y'all mad at us? Like y'all mad at us because that man stole our money, But then the tide started turning eventually, and it went viral and more victims started coming forward. Baby, come to find out, this man been a crook since he was in high school, okay? He was a babysitter. He done stole money from the people. He stole checks from people he used to work for. Come to find out, his dad is like a respected rabbi. So he used his dad's name, before he changed his name, his real name. His dad was a rabbi that people respected, so they trusted him. He had staff that he never paid, chauffeurs. They said that he rented all these expensive cars and paid them to drive him around. He ain't never paid for the car, like all kinds of stuff. Like all kinds of stuff started coming out about him. And so while this was going on, we find victim number 3. Now, victim number 3, come to find out the 2 of them have been dating for a year and a half, for 14 months. So for over a year. She said she was just getting ready to get on a plane after she had just spent the weekend with her boyfriend. And this article comes across her phone, because again, like I said, the article was a video article. Hey, C. Golden, the article comes across her phone, and it says the Tinder Swindler, and it's a picture of her boyfriend. And she was like, whoa, wait a minute, what? That's my boyfriend. What are you talking about? The Tinder Swindler? That's my boyfriend. So she said that she calls him and she's like, what the hell is this? Like, you the Tinder Swindler? And he was like, it's a lie. It's my enemies coming after me. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. So she said she got on the plane. She said she downloaded the article. She got on the plane. And while she was on the plane, she read the article. And she said that while she was on the plane, she started lining up, like, information in the article. She started lining it up with what she had going on. And, like, dates that he was in different countries, because she lived in... Did she live in Sweden too? But wherever she lived, the dates started lining up. The dates started lining up, like when he was in certain places. So she said, first of all, I realized that, like, not only like he was lying to me, he was cheating on me, because he had like 3 other girlfriends at the same time he had me as a girlfriend. Okay. And then she said, and then I realized, at that point, he had borrowed money from me. So again, it's the same story, different song. He told her that, he was a security issue, that people were after him. He had to go underground. He needed to borrow some money. And so she had loaned him money. And I want to say she had loaned him $140,000. Now, again, I need to find out who these people are that they just got $140,000 sitting in the bank account waiting for somebody to come and borrow it. I don't know. And I know that I don't give a damn boyfriend or no boyfriend. I don't know you well enough to give you $140,000 or nothing. I might not know you well enough to give you $140, okay? But certainly not no $140,000. So she just loaned him $140,000. So she was like, she said she reached out to Perlina. That's victim number 2. Her name is Perlina. Victim number 1's name is Cecilia. So she reached out to her and was like, girl, look, I believe you. Okay, I believe you. But before I blow my cover, I got some things to do. I need to try to get back as much of my money as I can. So she starts, telling him, I believe you, baby. Don't worry about it. I know that they just out to get you. They just coming for you. And she basically makes up with him because, of course, he's worried that she's going to believe this article. I don't believe the article. I know this all lies. So she said, so he's telling her, I need money. Girl, he's trying to get her to sell her house. He's trying to get her to sell her car because he is desperate at this point. He's texting her and calling her. So she said, listen, let me meet you, because I think he was living in Prague. But anyway, she goes to his house. She said, listen, I'm in the fashion industry, and I know how we can get some fast cash. Because she said the one thing about him that was real was that he liked designer clothes. And so she was like, I know designer clothes. I know the best places for resale of designer items. So she said she went to his house. She went to go visit him at his home, and she packed up like his whole wardrobe. She said she left out of his house with 3 huge suitcases full of all of his stuff, clothing, shoes, bags, everything she could get that she knew was worth some money. And she left there that day. She flew back home, and baby, she sold all his shit. And she said, I knew I wasn't going to get back what he owed me, but I knew I would get enough of it back that I'd be able to, I'd be all right. But of course, she told him, we're going to sell this money. We're going to sell this stuff, and I'll send you the money, and that'll be enough to get, for you to take care of. Because, see, by now, he's running out of marks. He can't pull in any new marks because he can't go back to Tinder because his face is all over the place. And the minute now, and what victim number 1 and victim number 2 said was, we had accomplished our goal, because our main goal was to make sure that this didn't happen to somebody else. So now when you Googled him, the Tinder Swindler and the article comes up first before any of that other stuff comes up. And so he couldn't get any new victims the way he had been getting victims. So, child, now he realizes that this woman ain't going to give him no money. So you can hear his voice messages. He's cussing her out. He's calling her all kinds of bitches. He's telling her, he's threatening her like he did the other 2 women. He's threatening her. All kinds of stuff. And she was like, I don't care. So then she called the police, and she fully cooperated, with the police and everything. And so now the police finally do arrest him, and that he's convicted of fraud, and he's sentenced to 15 months in jail. He only served 5 months. So he got out after 5 months, got back on Tinder, started up a website, a how to succeed in business website, and people pay him for his business advice, which I feel like is code word for, let me teach you how to be a fraud. Let me teach you how to defraud women, right? I feel like that's code for that. And he back to living a good life. Like, they showed him, he's back to flying in private jets. He's got a Bentley and a Ferrari and, money and designer clothes. And so somewhere he getting his money again, child. Somewhere he getting his money again. Now, that was at the end of this documentary. Hold on. They said that he's back he lives in Israel. And like I said, they estimated that he's swindled over $10 million from women. But before that, baby, he was homeless by the time she got done with him, because again, he didn't have any more money coming in, and the little bit that he did have, she took, because she took that wardrobe, and she was making money. I think they said she made over $100,000 selling his wardrobe. Matter of fact, her phone pinged while she was doing the interview, and she was like, oh, that's somebody that wants to buy one of his Gucci shirts. So she's still selling his shit, okay? As of the date of this documentary, she was still selling his shit. Okay. But if you look him up now, oh damn, here I was moving off fast. I had queued up pictures and everything. So hold on, let me start at the beginning. That's victim number 1. That's victim number 2. And that's victim number 3. That's the one that sold his clothes, child. That's the one that sold the Gucci clothes. Okay. Now, if you pull him up now, if you Google the Tinder Swindler now, let me show you what comes up. So it looks like he said he boasts, this was 1 day ago. He boasts that his underwear costs more than my annual salary. Well, I'm a teacher, so that could be true. Said he's wanted in Spain over the use of fake ID. So that was 2 weeks ago. Again, he was issued an arrest warrant in Spain 2 weeks ago. Tinder Swindler warrant issued for, that's the same one. He could face prison if he's caught. He faces more years in jail because he owes a Dubai millionairess 141 euro. So again, that was 4 weeks ago. So that's somebody in Dubai. And he scammed. I think this is a different story. I don't think that's her. And then again, it goes on and on and on. I found out my boyfriend was a Tinder swindler. That was 4 days ago. Now he's got a new girlfriend, and my thing is, at this point, you get what you get because he's out there. Like, it's all of these articles out here about this man. So if you get what he get. That's all I can say about that. If you still be if he got new women and they give him money, then you get what you get, child. What got me was when she got a notification that another piece of his clothes. Right. That thing cracked me up, child. That thing cracked me up. Ah! Right. He would cuss her out, didn't tell her how much he loves her. Exactly. Because he was like, she still got my damn clothes. She got my clothes. The message he sent her at the end was too. Why my thing won't scroll? What in the world? Was too much. Okay. Okay, there it is. I was like, hell no, victim number 1, you still on these dating sites. Right. Child, she's still on the dating sites. And then they said that she's still paying that money back. This man done been to jail. He out of jail. He back to driving Bentleys and Ferraris, and her ass is still paying that debt back. Ain't that some shit? Because she is still paying that debt back. Child. Let me read a couple of these comments. Let me go back up, read a couple of these comments. They had the audacity to call the victims gold diggers of all things. Unbeknownst to them, they were sugar mamas. He needed to be thrown under the jail. Under the laptop. Oh, you meant the jail. Under the jail. First of all, if a man has enemies, I'm not going to be with his ass. I'm not a ride or die. I saw Power and didn't like the ending. I know that's right. Xavier said, I saw Power. I didn't like the ending. The bodyguard was never charged. The baby mama was never charged. Nobody at that company, that the diamond company of the actual billionaire, nobody was ever charged except for him. And hell, his ass only went to jail for 5 months. That's what's going to end up happening to him, Abby. Somebody just going to take some street justice out on him, because if the authorities ain't going to do nothing, then yeah. It's going to be some street justice. And I ain't wishing it on nobody. I'm just telling you what I know. That's all I'm going to say. Damn it. Number 3 got me thinking she's a con woman, and that's how she knew his game. She was probably running it with him. She flipped it on him one. I don't know what anything that was said made you think she's a con woman. She gave the man $140,000 of her own money. How I don't okay. I don't know what you heard that I didn't hear, but okay. Well, see, that's the thing. In other countries, they don't have the laws that we have here. They don't have bankruptcy. The laws aren't the same. So we have bankruptcy here, but they don't have the same thing over there. I'm not saying they don't have bankruptcy at all, but the laws are different, and I don't think she can. Because I feel like here in America, I just would have filed bankruptcy, but I don't think she can. I don't think that's an option. Just like the way they got credit, like I said, I know I wouldn't be able to get that kind of credit, and my credit score ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I got a 500 credit score. I got a decent credit score, and I know I wouldn't be able to get that kind of credit. Like who just gets multiple $20,000-$30,000 loans? Like how you getting away with that? Listen, playing with me, Simon, would be on somebody, not on somebody's corner with fishnets, making my money back. Child. If anybody that I was questioning out of the 3 victims, it was victim number 2. Victim number 2 is the one I was questioning, because victim number 2 was the one. I mean, not from the point of, I believe that he stole money. I mean, got money from her, but I just think it's more to their story as far as their relationship. I just think it's more to their story, but yeah. Now I do remember a couple of months, like when this story first came out, I remember that Tinder finally did ban him, so he can't use Tinder anymore. But let's be clear, it wasn't until this came out. Tinder knew what was up with him when they did the whole Tinder Swindler article that went viral, but Tinder did not ban him until the Netflix documentary came out. So that's why I'm looking at Tinder with a side eye, like, so you was cool with him just being up on your app, and he, mind you, he didn't change his name or nothing. He's still using that same damn name. Well, no, I think he is using a different name now. Now he is, but he went back on Tinder under the same damn name. Most billionaires and their children are well educated, even if they don't use it. His test and email grammar was horrible. Oh, his text. He's misspelling simple words, punctuation, and everything. Oh, I didn't pay that much attention, but I believe you, girl. Thank you, Teresa. Teresa Terry says, Happy Mother's Day to all. Well, you know, it makes me feel like, because all con men and women, they know their mark. Like, it's not random. So that made me feel like that they were going through these Tinder profiles, and they were Googling these people, and they were finding out these people. So I never heard anybody, you know, I feel like these are probably women who maybe don't have brothers, maybe don't have a father figure around. You know what I mean? I don't know that to be a fact, but I just feel like, because again, I mean, he must be checking their credit. Because how you just know they have the ability to do the stuff you asking them to do? Because again, everybody can't just go get an Amex card with $100,000-$200,000 limit. Like, everybody don't have that ability. So you clearly are looking people up and getting this information, and you know before they know. Yeah, he absolutely marked them. It's just no way. There's no way. Anyway, y'all, so that's our Netflix and chill for tonight. The documentary is on Netflix. If y'all want to go watch it, or if you've already seen it, y'all know what it's all about. But if you haven't, go over to Netflix. It's called The Tinder Swindler, so you can go find it on Netflix. Right, number 2 went on a whole European vacation with him. So I don't know. she the one and again, when I say I'm side-eyeing her, I believe she was a victim. So I'm not saying I don't believe she was a victim, but I just think it's more to her story than what we getting from her. Child. All right, you guys. If I don't see you again, for the mothers in the house, please and thank you. Have a happy Mother's Day. And again, if your mother is not here and tomorrow is a hard day for you, my prayers go out to you, and I pray that you have a great day anyway. You find some peace, do something for yourself, reach out to some family members, find a woman in your life that's a mother figure to you and celebrate her. Not to say she's a replacement for your mama, but find something. Because I understand that tomorrow ain't a happy day for everybody, and I get that. I had to reach out to a friend of mine yesterday and talk to her because her mom is gone. And 50 people in the chat. Please, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button on your way out. It is both free and 99. There's a special VIP Tinder for the wealthy. I believe it. Well, I believe it. There are a lot of like apps that are for people who are affluent. Because I remember, who was it? There was like somebody, like a big celebrity that was on a dating app. I remember Shaq said he was on Tinder, and we know Shaq got money. He ain't billion. I don't think he's billionaire status, but he's definitely up there. And Shaq said he was on Tinder, and he said he had to get off Tinder because people thought it was fake. People thought it wasn't really him. They thought it was a fake account, but he really was on Tinder. So millionaires go on these apps. And not only is Shaq a millionaire, Shaq is a well-known, visible millionaire. Like, he's not like, oh, he's just a millionaire because he's got business and people don't really know who he is. So, I mean, meeting somebody that's got money on an app would not have been a red flag for me. Now, there would have been plenty of other red flags, let's be clear, but that wouldn't have been the first red flag for me. Ben Affleck? How Ben Affleck on Twitter and he's engaged to J-Lo? He was on Twitter before they got back together. Interesting. The third lady was the most resourceful one out the bunch. And she had some heads up before, she wasn't too far gone. Because I thought that was a genius idea for her to be like, I'm in the fashion industry and I know we can sell this stuff. Let's do it. And also, like I said, I don't think that the third lady would have been as successful with that had he not been desperate. Remember, by the time the third victim rolled around, the Tinder Swindler had gone viral. He couldn't get any more marks because his name was out there. And even when you Googled him, the first thing that came up was Tinder Swindler, not billionaire son. So remember, the victim number 1 and victim number 2 had both Googled him, and the first thing that popped up was he was the son of a billionaire. But by the time victim number 3, I mean, not in the beginning because they had been dating for a year, but by the time she was like, oh, well, let me sell your clothes, he was desperate. Like, he literally got evicted from his apartment while he was waiting for her to sell his clothes. He got evicted. He was living living at a hostel, and then he was damn homeless before he actually got arrested. And she was the one that actually called the police and told the police where he was, where he finally did get arrested. But I don't think that would have worked for victim number 1 or victim number 2. They wouldn't have been able to flip it on him because he wasn't desperate at that point. You know what I'm saying? By the time victim number 3, he was desperate. So I think that's a little bit of a difference too. Okay, little baby. I mean, you feel the way you feel, girl. Okay. I feel like you attacking me. Okay. You said number 3 was aware of his con game because she conspired with him and you ain't telling me different. I don't believe that, but okay. I don't believe she was any more aware than the other 2 women were. That's just my opinion. Yeah. I don't think she knew anything. I think the baby mama knew what she was doing. But I don't think she knew anything more than victim number 1 or victim number 2, honestly. Remember, his page got blocked because they thought it was a fake account. You talking about Shaq or Ben Affleck? Oh, Ben. Okay. I didn't remember nothing. I didn't know that. I mean, I believe it, but I didn't know. I remember Shaq, though. I remember Shaq talking about that people didn't believe it was really him. I do remember that. All right, y'all. Let me get off of here. I'm going to go look at Love and Marriage Huntsville, child. See what them people talking about down to the Huntsville. And I will see y'all later. Mwah. Peace.